I always tend to think, okay, when you see your managers or whatever, would you like to be like them in the future? And I never felt inspired by any of them. So I just decided this is not my place. First of all, as a founder, you have to learn how to let go. Like, it's impossible to control everything. So if you want to have a global company, you must learn how to manage that some things will go not as you would like. I think VCs can destroy a company. They are most of the times they're responsible to just deviate you from your gut feeling, from your beliefs, from your vision. You always have certain doubts, but it's about not thinking much about them. But the biggest mistake is not to do, is to not do. So be true to your values. You will commit many mistakes in the journey, but as long as you can go to sleep every night well, that's what I always ask. No, I want to sleep well every night, despite my kids waking me up, but like not because of a company decision I've made that I feel guilty or whatever.
So today at VDS Podcast, we're joined by co-founder, co-CEO, and amazing guest, Pablo Gil.
Thank you. Thank you for having me as a guest.
Pablo, welcome to the podcast. And in your own words, without titles, names, and companies, could you describe who is Pablo Gil? What mission you're on?
I mean, so I was born in Valencia. I'm Pablo. I'm 40 years old now. Dad of 4 kids. So, and I consider myself like an entrepreneur. That's what I like doing. This is the second company I've created. And yeah, I just enjoy building things and having an impact.
Every person has his own entrepreneurial journey. How did yours start it and continue to where you're now?
So I think, already since I was at uni, while I was studying, I was always during the weekends trying to organize something or get some money somewhere. So yeah, it was just a means to get some money to pay my own trips or whatever. So I think that feeling has always been there, no? That entrepreneurial spirit of trying to build something. And then, when I started working in corporate, I realized I was the worst employee. I didn't enjoy my time there. And again, during the weekends, I was always planning on building something different. And that's when I decided, to quit my corporate job and just, start my own entrepreneurial journey, fully dedicated.
What was your first project and how did it come into life?
So the first idea, when it was with my business partner, my first business partner, who's a friend of mine since we were 3 years old, as if he was a brother. We decided to go to Australia together to start our own business. And the first idea had nothing to do with what we ended up creating. We wanted to build paddle courts, but that was not like now that's booming. It was 14 years ago. And probably back then wouldn't have exploded as it's exploding now. So the journey, I don't know if it would have lasted with that business idea. But then that was the initial idea, which we never managed to develop. And we started trying different things. We arrived to Australia with just the idea of building something. And every Monday we would sit down here, you and I are in front of us. Okay, what should we do this week? And we would just think about, importing goods or products or buying and selling things. And then eventually we came up with our first business idea, which was GrowPro.
Can you tell me more about the Growth Pro? How did it all start and what was the product back then?
So it was a kind of a student agency where we helped students travel to Australia initially and then moving to other different places. And it was a one-stop shop platform to help you with that international education journey.
Let's step back into your corporate life. You started like a corporate employee in a very successful company back then in consulting.
Mm-hmm.
What made you understand that you're not meant for this journey, for those corporate clients?
I think when I studied civil engineer, which back then was it was a very interesting career to study. When I started studying, it was the career where you would always have a good job or a good employment or whatever. But we studied a lot. It was a very tough career degree, but they never taught us or introduced us to that to the working environment. There were no apprenticeships or internships or whatever like there are many more now, or the like business schools. So I was quite lost actually when I finished my degree. I didn't even know what to do. But up until then, okay, I had finished my studies at school, then studied at uni. It was like, okay, a continued path. But then, okay, off to the labor market. And I actually didn't know what to do. So again, consulting kind of opened you a lot of doors. But yeah, I realized that was not for me. I enjoyed a lot my time there because I learned a lot. But I always tend to think, okay, when you see your managers or whatever, would you like to be like them in the future? And I never felt like admired by, inspired by any of them. So I just decided this is not my place.
Talking about your entrepreneurial strength, where do you see your strongest sides, like business side, strategy, or business models? And what is it for you?
I think I'm very much into the business side, business feeling, gut feeling, like identifying business opportunities, just making them happen. Okay, just, yeah, switching from idea to execution straight away.
So you started building these projects. First one was Growth Pro, and then it was PropHero, both in different industries, first in the education mobility and then in real estate. How did this switch happen?
I think I always felt, I mean, I've always been a client of my own company. So the first company, like I realized I was the first student to go to identify the business opportunity when he arrived a few months before me to Australia. And back then there were no working holiday visas, so he found out that by studying in one school we could get the student visa and then work, whatever. So he found out a school that would give us a discount and a commission to just place me. So he said, okay, he just helped me in that process. And back then, okay, my commission we just split it between both. I mean, he didn't care about the commission, but we found out, okay, there were many like me in my same situation. No, that was back in 2013 when there was a massive crisis here in Spain, and the young people wouldn't find a job. So they would just, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go abroad, and I'm gonna try and find something else, either work or language or whatever. So we started like by helping other people, creating that community in the destination to help them with their first accommodation, job placement or whatever, and with their visa. And that was the business model. So it was more like I felt the pain myself, and we just developed a service to solve this pain for other clients.
So it was natural extension of your own problem.
Yeah.
And you wanted to solve it, and then you actually found out that it could work for other people too.
And with PropHero it was the same. I've been investing in real estate for like now over 14 years maybe. And it was the whenever I had some savings, I would just put it into real estate because that's what I kind of saw more tangible with good result, good returns. I was not an expert in stock in the stock market or in back then there were not even crypto or whatever. But like so through my years investing, I kind of introduced a lot of my friends and colleagues to also property investing, and without even having PropHero. So one of these colleagues to whom I convinced into investing in property, in real estate, was Michael, who's now my co-founder and the co-CEO also at PropHero. And then he was in the corporate ladder. He was like a partner at McKinsey, he was successful in the corporate ladder, which I wasn't. I was more in the entrepreneurial side. And then he decided to step out from his job at McKinsey, and I had just resigned from my previous company, and I was not willing to start anything new. But then he approached me with this business idea to help others find good investment opportunities through data models, plus doing it all on the idea was, and the vision is to be able to invest in a click, right? All through a tech platform where you could do everything seamless. And I was hooked into the idea because I knew about property investment. I kind of knew that one-stop shop feeling of which I had created in the education industry. So it was related, but in a different industry. So trying to solve that pain where people have no clue onto how to get into property investment, they don't even know where to find the good opportunities, less even how to manage the whole process, which is very painful. So okay, we could solve that. We could offer them a full solution, tech solution where they could all do it through their phone and finding the right opportunities.
You're referring a lot to tech, that it's in one place for all the necessities of the client. What is PropHero now? And for those who don't know, what is PropHero? Can you describe it in short, what it is?
So PropHero is a platform that manages property wealth for our clients. What does this mean? Like property wealth is like buying and selling properties or just buying to rent, so to get passive income. So it's just managing their wealth. So what we do is we take care of that property wealth for our clients, which means finding them their best investments, helping them buy those investments and taking care of those investments.
And compared to the traditional agencies, real estate offices, families offices, what is the difference between PropHero and traditional go-to places that people normally use?
There's several differences. So the first one and most important is the use of data. So we find the best investment opportunities and the best areas to invest. So compared to other agencies that will be located in one place and they will sell you the real estate that they have in that place. Good luck if it's the best place or not to invest. But usually like data will tell you better. So finding the best opportunities to invest, and usually in areas that are not the primary locations like Madrid or Barcelona or even Valencia City. We find like peripheral areas like secondary cities. So this allows us to be the number one players in those areas because we attract massive volumes in those areas. Then we obtain better product as well. So it ends up being even better. So first of all, data is like at the core of the business. And then secondly, the use of technology to do it in a seamless process. So think about Amazon. How many products of Amazon do you receive at home on a weekly basis? Why? Because they just made it very simple, buy in a click. So this our vision has always been like this. We are going to make it seamless so that we will tell you, hey, client number one, client number two, here's your property that has increased in value by 20% in the last 2 years. Are you willing to sell and just, for example, buy the next two properties which are here? Or just are you willing to refinance that property, get that equity, buy the next one by financing? What would you say? Yeah, probably yes. But if you take care of it, okay, just press click and we'll take care of everything. So by making it very seamless and always through technology, because again, that's what you will perceive as a client. But behind that, on the back end, we've got all our partners, like the builders, the property managers, the notaries, everyone connected to our system, which is called Vistral. And this system connects everything in the real estate industry. So we connect everything and we make it seamless so that you can just buy in a click or manage it in a click. So that's obviously the vision. We're not there yet, but eventually you'll buy as many properties as you receive packages of Amazon at your home through PropHero.
That's amazing idea. I would love that.
Yeah.
And how do you make sure that people make this right choice, this good choice? Because for many people who are choosing an investment property, they don't know where to buy. They don't know what's going to raise in the price. They have no idea what is the price per square meter and how it varies. How do you make sure that people make educated decision based on data, not on their intuition?
So before going to that one, I'm going to just finalize the third thing that makes us different, okay? Because I mentioned data, I mentioned tech, and then the third one is also making it global investments. So usually people invest locally where they live, or if you're Spanish, you will invest in Spain. But what we believe is that similarly to what you do with index funds or ETFs, that you diversify your portfolio globally, we believe in the same case with property. So eventually, you're going to be able to have a property portfolio that will be some properties in Spain or some fractions of properties in Spain, some of them in, let's say, US, some of them. So, and you diversify your global investment. So we believe in making it a global portfolio, and we currently operate in 4 countries. So again, those are the 3 main differentiating points. Now, to your point on data, how do we ensure the properties or the areas where we invest and the properties are the right ones? So it's a funnel. Okay, so first of all is by selecting the areas that maximize both yield and capital gain. And we have our data models, predictive data models, to find those areas that are up and coming. We select those areas, and then we have scouters. We work with real estate agents in those areas to find the right properties and the right it's not just individual properties. We may find like old warehouses or old commercial real estate that is like abandoned, and we give birth to those real estate places. So rather than having a commercial real estate closed or shut for 14, 15 years, we just transform it into like 50 units. So we are even giving stock into the property market, which is the main reason why there's a housing crisis, because there's no stock. So that's the two ways that we make sure, okay, we are having good properties, and then we measure the outcome. Obviously, at the beginning, we don't have a track record. Now we have a track record, and we measure how our properties have outperformed the market. So, and they have outperformed by far, not only the whole country or the countries where we invest, but also the areas where we invest our type of properties in those areas.
You scaled PropHero quite fast, actually, across different continents and different countries. What business decisions helped you to scale in the right direction?
I mean, the main thing that has helped us get where we are is the talent we've attracted to the company. So that's the one single thing that is more important, to attract the right talent, to retain them, and to elevate them. So I would say, just focusing on people and on having the right people and the right culture in the company.
And for those people who are building global brands, what is the first step? Hiring talent, leadership, what advice you could give?
So, I mean, first of all, as a founder, you have to learn how to let go. No, like it's impossible to control everything. So if you want to have a global company, you must learn how to manage that some things will go not as you would like, differently, but in a different way that may work as well. And some of them won't work. So again, you must learn how to live with mistakes. There's thousands of mistakes on a daily basis. And if you're not having mistakes, then it's not, you're not growing enough or scaling enough. No, so that's just realizing, okay, there's small bumps in the way to get to the right point.
Just being adaptable, being flexible, and learn from these mistakes. That's what you say, right?
And then when you hire the right talent in different people, you have to trust them. So trust is one of the biggest things. And trust not always works. So sometimes you'll trust someone and eventually it doesn't work. But when you've managed to get those trustworthy leaders in the different places, that's what allows you to grow. No, one of the things I also learned, like in our company, like one of the best performers are entrepreneurs themselves. We've managed to attract them into a bigger or faster or wider project, whatever it is, but they are entrepreneurs themselves. So these kind of people don't want to be managed, micromanaged, or told what to do.
They want to have
ownership.
Have
to have ownership and just, okay, you're going to build a flexibility within a framework.
Right.
So you have to just align on the vision, convince them that this is the right way, and also listen to them and to, okay, how can we vary the trajectory? Because they will push towards, okay, their ways of doing things. And I'm not saying my ways of doing things are the best. It's just I have my conviction. And I have my conviction because I'm day and night thinking about my business. Like this is one of my traits. Like I'm always connected. I never disconnect. I have my family, I have my meditation, I have my routines, but I'm always kind of thinking on business.
For a founder who is also taking care of the business side of the investing, funding side of the things, how does funding actually change your leadership style, your thinking, your decision-making process? Did you
very
feel
much.
it?
I mean, I think VCs can destroy a company as much as most of the companies may need their money. They are most of the times they're responsible to just deviate you from your gut feeling, from your beliefs, from your vision, and there's always the balance, no? How much you're gonna listen to those VCs, which is very their knowledge and their experience is very valuable, but every company is different. What worked in a company probably won't work in this company, and that's something also that you learn. Like it's very difficult to give advice. Like you just have to. The best advice is, okay, man, to just be adaptable, as you mentioned before, or to be persistent, whatever, treat people well, create a good culture, but how it's very intangible. So again, with VCs, it's about having a great relationship, explaining them their problems, listening to them. But I found out the best VCs are those who trust the founders to do what they believe is the best thing, and also trust them to commit many mistakes, and knowing that there's going to be hiccups in the journey.
And for those young founders who are building their startups, what could you recommend when looking for those good investors who will trust them and not soak up all their energy?
So ask for feedback. Those investors are not the first one to invest. Ask their portfolio companies, how do they treat them? Because then you learn not from what the VCs tell you that they just want to put your money because they need to allocate money, but you learn from the founders. Are they supportive? Are they really founder friendly? Because all of them say, yeah, we're founder friendly, but at the end of the day, most of them are not. They just want their own benefit, and their own benefit, they don't realize that it comes also with the benefit of the founder.
Of course.
So it has to be mutual. So I would just tell them, ask for feedback. And then you get the good feedback. Founders will tell you straight away, okay, whether a VC is a good one, a good fit or not. And that's why those VCs who don't treat founders properly have their days counted.
You mentioned before that the housing problem is about the lack of supply rather than speculation.
Yeah.
What do you think the system is still getting wrong about it?
I mean, there's nothing wrong. It's what you mentioned. It's just about stock, lack of stock. There's no other issue. If there were more houses, there will be no housing crisis.
And what is the problem to build more houses?
So there's several. There's lack of the laws are not
In the place.
So I mean, there's no protection for investors. There's a lot of populism. It's very easy to say, speculation is the money is the devil. It's about this happens. It's politics at the end of the day. Regulation on land, to make it more flexible to build, to transform. As long as you put the right regulation in place to protect investors, tenants, licenses, everything, it's just about if that happened, the people would invest more, people would build more, and then eventually there would be no housing crisis.
You're operating between different countries and different regions, different continents. What is the biggest lesson about housing markets you learned so far? Can you share?
The issues are the same everywhere. In every country, there's a housing crisis right now. I mean, not in every country, but in the countries we operate, and you realize in the developed countries, because everybody wants to live in the same areas. There's a gentrification, and those areas haven't caught up on building faster because of what we mentioned before, or other reasons. But the dynamics are the same. People want to live in the same areas. Young generations have been are not able to buy the houses where they want to live, but they still want to have investments in real estate, which is called a phenomenon called rent vesting. People live renting, but they want to invest in properties as any other investment. But again, investment is necessary to create properties. So again, it's the same dynamics in many countries. And why is there no more construction going on? Again, there's a lot of regulation that blocks a lot of projects unnecessarily. There's a lack of legislation to protect every party, every stakeholder in the industry. So, but the dynamics are very similar in every country.
You mentioned crisis. From the investor's perspective, crisis, it's an opportunity or it's rather a threat? It's something that you should be avoiding or rather waiting up?
You always have to measure as an investor, no? I think that there's several theories on how to invest better. I wouldn't put all my money right now in the same place. So, but if you continuously invest on a regular basis, diversify in different places, at the end of the day, nobody has a crystal ball. So yeah, you can be waiting for the right moment to invest and wait for life. And you've been missing many opportunities. So it's not a good strategy to just wait, because you never know. It's a good strategy when you may think that there's a crisis coming, maybe to be a bit more cautious. But still, I mean, since we started PropHero in 2021, we've been listening to, the crisis is coming. And it's been 4 years now
Forever.
of great opportunities. So my advice is always never put all your eggs, because you need to keep up some buffer in case things go wrong, because then if you're in the need of selling, then you're going to sell badly. But with real estate, the good thing is that if you are wanting to buy something, hold it for a while, the property has increased, want to sell, whatever, perfect. But if not, you'll just hold it with a good rental yield, and you have a good, and you build a good property portfolio. So there's always options with even if the market goes down, no? Unless you need to sell, then it's when you get really screwed.
Let's talk about human side and your personality as a founder. What was the moment that you doubted yourself the most as growing PropHero?
I think you always have certain doubts, but it's about not thinking much about them. Like you just need to, the worst doubt is not doing. So at the end of the day, that's one thing that you learn. Like you just have to keep on doing and learning from the mistakes. But the biggest mistake is not to do, is to not do.
And when things get uncertain or hectic and messy and overwhelmed for the founder, what would you recommend for new founders, for people that are growing their companies, their startup, where they feel that everything is going wrong and it feels like I'm almost giving up?
So it's about breaking up the problem, breaking down into pieces and just prioritizing. So the biggest issues we face as founders is focus. And we have a motto is always about less is better. We want to do less things. And still we do many. But it's about, whether we set up the OKRs for the quarter and there's 50 lines, no, let's reduce it to 20. And we just do 20, for example. So this more about less is better is an advice that we keep telling ourselves always is, guys, let's do less. Let's aim for to just focus on this side of the tech and this side of whatever business unit it is. And that's all we do. So just breaking down the problems and focusing on what really matters, and the 1-2 things that are going to move the needle. The rest, just let go. You can't control everything.
You run a global company, you're father of 4 kids, you have family, you have multiple employees. How do you stay sane, first of all, and how do you stay intentional and focused?
I train a lot. I think it's about being very disciplined, waking up every morning, doing your morning routine. Like in my case, I do meditation, I do training, I do cold showers, just trying to keep yourself very disciplined, very stoic. And holding to it, because it's a very, very up and down journey, like a roller coaster journey. So this routine helps you have something to hold on to when things go bad, and when things are going well, they help you keep much humbler as well. So I think having a good routine and being very disciplined is something that has really worked for me.
How do you disconnect? You said you don't really disconnect, but how do you disconnect? Maybe spend time with
family.
Family,
at the end of the day, on the
emotions?
weekends, I never take my laptop. Yes, I have my phone, but I try to disconnect as much as possible. And kids force me to disconnect at the end of the day. So I really laugh at some founders that say, man, when you become a dad, you dedicate less hours, whatever. In my opinion, that's bullshit. I'm fully connected, but those times with my family and with my kids allow me to disconnect mentally, which later allows me to be more focused on the business. So I think it's super healthy. And when I compare my previous years at Grow Pro, when I had no kids, compared to now, I'm much more focused, much more productive. I inspire much more now that I dedicate less hours to the business per se, less hours, physical hours, but my mind is always connected. Than when I was without kids, that I was 24/7, always with the business, doing problems myself. Now I'm forced to delegate, I'm forced to let go on many things and just focus on the important things. And then that's what really matters, when I focus on the really important things.
Talking about the next steps, what is waiting for PropHero in the next 4 or 5 years?
Difficult to say in a startup now, 4 or 5 years now, but our vision has always been the same since day one. So we aim to become a global company where we can operate, offer investment products in many countries, and be able to invest and manage your property portfolio in a click, which has to do with all the technology that we need to develop so that the back end works, all the partners, all the real estate industry is connected to our platform called Vistral, and then the investor can see and manage their property portfolio just through the phone. So that's the vision remains the same. It's just how fast we'll get into more countries or develop the technology properly. What really matters now is delivering a good service to our clients, because again, our clients repeat. It's a lifetime value type of company. Our clients are gonna come back when they have a good service because the product is really good. So yeah, we just have to focus on delivering a better service.
Let's do a quick fire round, short questions and short answers. First thing that comes to your mind. What is the book or resource that you recommend that everyone should read about business?
About business, so I read a lot about business. One of my favorite books has been that from Yvon Chouinard, Let My People Go Surfing. It's all about company culture, letting go. It's very inspiring. But again, I read a lot of historic books like a romance or whatever to just disconnect my mind.
Someone that you admire, even though that sometimes you disagree with them.
Juan Roch.
What is one thing that people would never guess about you?
When I was younger, my family always told me Pablo Mas. No, I always wanted I've always been very competitive, very wanted more, and I've learned a lot to just be less competitive in a way, no, more relaxed.
What is one personal skill you know that nobody can take away from you?
Personal skill. I'm very disciplined, very, very tenacious. I'm persistent, consistent. So again, that I've been since I was very, very young. Since I have my first memories, I was helping my dad prepare breakfast, the first one in the morning. So yeah, always been very disciplined.
What would scare you, having failed or becoming too comfortable?
Too comfortable.
Too comfortable. Why?
Because I like exploring new things. I believe when you're comfortable you stop growing. So I don't want to stop growing and exploring new things. And I know that will imply many mistakes in the journey, but I'm not scared about mistakes. I think that's part of the learning journey.
Nice, Pablo. We are coming to the end of the conversation. My last question would be, what is the advice, number one, that you would give to someone building something global, something with big ambitions, having competitiveness in them, and trying to change the world for better?
So be true to your values. I think that's what, again, you will commit many mistakes in the journey, but as long as you can go to sleep every night well, that's what I always ask. No, I want to sleep well every night, despite my kids waking me up, but not because of a company decision I've made that I feel guilty or whatever. So always be true to your values. I think that's what will keep you very sane. No, as you were saying before, your mental health is the most difficult thing to manage as a founder.
Of course, Pablo, thank you so much. It was a phenomenal conversation. Thank you so much for being here, sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, your experience with us. And I hope to see you very soon in our future podcasts.
Yeah, thank you very much. Pleasure.